Hello everyone. Welcome to the lecture on building relationships in teams. So, as the title of the lesson indicates, this lesson is about developing or building up relationships or a rapport among the members in a team. So let's discuss how we can do that. So I am Prabhashini Vijayavantha, Senior Lecturer attached to the Department of Human Resource Management, Faculty of Commerce and Management Studies, University of Kelaniya. Saying hello doesn't have an ROI. It's about building relationships. So, when we meet somebody, we normally say hello. Some people normally say hello. But some people do not value meeting an unknown person. So, because they might be thinking that saying hello to somebody does not have an ROI. What is an ROI? A return on the investment. So what is the investment here? That is saying hello. So saying hello may not have a proper return. That is what some people believe. Yes, it is correct in one hand. When we say hello to somebody, we invest some of our energy and time on that. But actually, we do not gain anything in return materially. But on the other hand, we build up a relationship through that one single hello. So it is about building relationships or creating a rapport with another person. They may forget what you said, but they will never forget how you made them feel. So, when we meet a person, people may forget what we said. So, when we meet a person, we may speak with that person. But later on, the other person may forget what we have said or mentioned. But later on, they will never forget how we have made them feel during a particular interaction. So that is really important. So both of these quotes discuss about the importance or value of relationships. Relationships are very important and very valuable for life. So this lesson discusses about how we can create relationships among the members of a team and what are the advantages of having a team with closely related members. So let's begin discussing about team relationships with a short introduction. So, why is it important to develop relationships? Building solid or strong relationships with other members of a team will contribute to lasting success of the team as well as the members. So therefore, it's important to develop relationships with other members of the team. So for that, it is important to become a very good team player. So when we become a good team player and develop strong relationships, we become the kind of person or the type of person that every team wants or every team needs. So then let's look at the character profile of an ideal team player. What do we mean by the character profile? Character profile refers to the character qualities or characteristics of an ideal team player. So these kind of characteristics are very important for a team player to develop strong relationships with the members of the team. So the first character quality that we are going to discuss that a good team player should possess is adaptability. What do you mean by adaptability? Adaptability is the ability of a person to adapt or adjust himself according to the requirements of the situation or circumstance. This is some form of flexibility as well. So, what is the advantage of having adaptable individuals within a team? Characteristics of team players with adaptability. Characteristics or features or qualities of team players with adaptability. They are always adaptable to the situation, which means they want to learn the guidelines for the situation and get adjusted themselves. So, they are highly teachable. They can be easily taught. They are highly teachable. So, anybody, the trainers or any other member, and can teach them how to do things in the team. So, after teaching and after learning, they can do any task or any responsibility within the team. So, they can be assigned with different roles within the team at different times after teaching them the basics. This is very valuable. They are emotionally secure. Because these people are adaptable to the situations, they are not scared always. They are always emotionally or mentally secure or safe or stable. So they are not scared about anything. Especially they are not scared about bringing change within the team. And they are very creative. As they are adaptable, they have different ideas in mind. So they are very creative. And also, the only objective in their mind is providing service. So they are service-minded individuals. They largely focus on providing a service. So they learn and adjust themselves according to the requirements of the situation with the objective of providing a service. It is not the strongest of the species that survives. So according to Charles Darwin, it is not the strongest of the species that would survive in the future. No, the most intelligent. It is the one that is most adaptable or adjustable to change. As we discussed that adaptability is a very good character quality for a team player. So let's see how one can become more adaptable. How to become more adaptable or adjustable to the requirements of a particular situation. Get into the habit of learning. Get into the habit of learning. What do you mean by a habit? A habit is something that we do continuously. So one has to develop the ability to learn continuously. Make it a habit. So when you get into the habit of learning, you will continuously engage in learning and continuous improvement. So how can you do that? Always try to learn at least one thing new every day and make it a note in your diary. So you can learn something while checking social media like Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or even YouTube by watching a YouTube video. Re-evaluate your role on the team. Always evaluate regularly, that is repeatedly evaluate your role or your duty on the team. Maybe you could fill another role better than your current one. So when you evaluate your role, you will be able to find out or identify that sometimes you are capable or you could fill or take up another role within the team which you can do better than your current one or current role. Think outside the lines. This is something like thinking outside the box. So think outside the lines, which means think beyond the traditional thinking pattern. Look for unconventional solutions. Look for or search for or bring unconventional solutions or non-traditional solutions to the problems. Be creative and resourceful when faced with a challenge. Whenever you are faced with a challenge, be creative or be innovative or find out new resources that you can make use to deal with the challenging situation. The next most important character quality that needs to be developed by a good team player to have strong team relationships is collaboration. So, what is collaboration? Collaboration refers to working together with others in such a manner that you drive each other to achieve the ultimate goal of the team as well as each individual. So, another term that is largely connected with collaboration is cooperation. What is the relationship between collaboration and cooperation? Cooperation is merely working together agreeably, but collaborating means working together more aggressively. Cooperation or working in a cooperative manner is merely or simply working together with others in an agreeable manner. That is, we agree with another party to work together, which means we are working together without getting into conflicts. But collaborating is different. Collaborating means working together in a more aggressive manner. So when we say aggressive, we see something very negative and we see something very conflicting. So in that case, how can people work together in an aggressive manner? That is by working together in an achievement-driven manner. Every team player must bring something more to the table and not just put in his minimum required work. So this is what is meant by aggression. Every member in the team, every player in the team must bring something more to the table. So when we work as a team, each member has some form of role to be played within the team. So then they are required to do some minimum amount of work. That is called the minimum or least required work. So every team player must bring something more to the table than the minimum required amount, and not just put in his minimum required work. So that is, every team player should demonstrate some form of citizenship behavior. So, if collaboration is important for building successful relationships within teams and to become a successful team player, how can a person become a collaborative team player? Think win-win-win. So always when you work in a team, think win-win-win. That is, always focus towards doing work which brings victory to yourself, to the other members, as well as the whole team. Complement others and their unique gifts. Compliment or support or appreciate the other members in doing their work and fulfilling their responsibilities within the team. And also, if there are members with unique gifts such as unique knowledge, skills, attitudes, exposure, etc., work together with them and then produce successful results. Take yourself out of the picture. Take your individual self out of the picture and stop trying to highlight yourself. Stop promoting or marketing your individual self and ask how the team would do if you were not in it. Ask the members of the team how they would perform a particular task if you were not in the team. Then propose ideas that will not involve your participation but will promote other teammates. And when working in the team, propose or suggest ideas that will not involve your participation but will promote the other members of the team. Then the other members will feel they are being respectfully treated. The next character quality that needs to be developed by a good team player to have sound relationships is being communicative. So, communication is very important in a team. We all already know that because we are having a separate lesson on team communication. The reason for allocating a separate lecture and a separate section on team communication indicates the importance of communication within teams. So, it is very important for members within teams to be very communicative. So, communicative team players do not isolate themselves from others. It is very much important for a communicate team player to not isolate or separate themselves from the other members of the team. which means communicative team players should have a very close connection with the other members of the team using different types of media, such as social media, chat groups, emails, personal discussions, telephone conversations, emails, etc. And when the team players, each and every single individual team player is communicative or very good in communication and always communicates or shares whatever is to be shared with the other members, it makes it easy or convenient and comfortable for the other members of the team or the other teammates to communicate with such communicative members, because they all know that communicative team members do not hide any information. They do not keep anything secret. They are very open in communication. And when there are relationships with members of the team, the different relationships with different members takes a different format. Some relationships are very sound, positive, and easy, while some relationships are potentially difficult or very difficult. So, it is very important to give a separate, special attention to the potentially difficult relationships or relationships which are not running smoothly and soundly. So they have to be catered or treated in a special way. Follow up important communication in writing. So this is a basic principle in terms of communication. Follow up important communications in writing or written format, which means important communications or important messages shared among the members of the team should happen in writing, either through email or letters or memos. And follow-up activities for such communications also should happen in writing, so that both parties involved in the communication task must have a clear idea what is expected from each party, so that there is clear communication and no confusion. So, if being communicative or if being a good communicator enables you to become a good team player and develop strong relationships with the other members within the team, it is important for each and every one of you to improve your communication skills. So, how to improve your team communication skills? So here I am going to explain to you briefly about how you could improve your communication skills within the team, as we are discussing in detail about improving team communication within the team communication lesson. So, first thing, to improve your communication, you have to be candid. That is, you have to be very genuine and very honest, which means when you speak within team meetings and when you speak with other members of the team, you should not speak while keeping something else behind your mind. You have to be very genuine and very frank. Openness fosters trust. So which means you have to be very open in your communications. This openness will foster or encourage trust. This openness will create a trust among the other members of the team. So therefore, it is always important to speak the truth whenever you speak with other members of the team. But speaking truthfully does not mean that you're telling everything that will hurt the feelings of the other members. Instead, you have to speak the truth in a very kind and respectful manner. Speak truthfully, but very kindly and with all due respect to all your teammates. When you give respect to the other teammates, automatically they will also start respecting you. Secondly, be quick. You have to be quick in your communication, which means you cannot keep information with you without sharing them with the other members. You have to be very quick and fast in your communications. Don't sit on things. Don't sit and wait on things. Address potential issues at the first opportunity. Address or cater to potential issues or issues that could arise in the future today itself. At the first opportunity that you get, address those issues so that you can sort out them before they become very serious problems. Be inclusive. That means always become involved with the other members in your communications. Do not keep or hide information from others. Do not keep information to yourself. Always share the information with the other members of the team. So keep your teammates informed or aware at all times about all the information that you have with you. The next character quality that needs to be developed within a team member to make him a good team player as well as to help him or her to develop good relationships is dependability. So what do you mean by dependability? That refers to being dependable. That is, the other members of the team can trust him and depend on him. That is, he would keep his word and deliver his promises in terms of words and actions. So, a dependable person will have pure motives. That means very clean, very genuine, very honest motives or ideas. No hidden plans or hidden agendas. If there are no hidden agendas or secret agendas among the individual members of the team, which are not communicated to the other members, it will make progress or growth. And a dependable person has the ability or is able to take on lot of responsibilities. And the other members also can assign responsibilities to a dependable person. And the dependable person who will take the responsibilities or accept the responsibilities and also will fulfill those responsibilities. That is the most important thing. Because nowadays we see lot of people who are able to take on responsibility, who would willingly accept and take up responsibility but do not fulfill those responsibilities. We see this or we observe this among lot of people who take up leadership positions. Sound thinking and good judgment when it counts. A dependable person should have a very careful thinking pattern and good judgment of events happening whenever necessary. And also, a dependable team member will consistently or continuously contribute to the team. Such people are consistent and contribute throughout to the team without contributing at selected times. So therefore, they are very dependable. So irrespective of or no matter how much tired, exhausted, overwhelmed or distracted or stressed, they should be able to deliver whatever is expected by the team from them. But when they do this, they have to be mindful of their physical and mental health. Because while trying to deliver while being tired, overwhelmed and distracted may damage the individual team members' physical and mental health and well-being. As improving one's dependability is important for a good team player to develop strong relationships with other members of the team, let's see how can one become dependable. How to improve our dependability within the team. Check your motives. Check or evaluate or observe or study your motives or ideas or expectations. Discover what your word is worth. Find out that the words that you say to others, the promises that you make to the others are important to be ensured. Find someone to hold you accountable. So, if you do not keep your word or your promises, get the other person whom you have held accountable to inform you and maybe punish you, so that the others can always count on you. The next character quality that needs to be developed by a good team player is being selfless or selflessness. What do we mean by selfless? That is the opposite of selfish. That is, without being selfish or self-centered, focusing about the others, not focusing about one's own self. So, when we work in a team, one of the very bad character qualities is selfishness. Instead, we should develop selflessness. So, as a team member, how do you cultivate an attitude of selflessness? So, as a team member, how can a member cultivate or develop the attitude of selflessness within themselves? First thing, they have to be generous. First thing, they have to be very generous and giving to the other people. And always the member should try to avoid internal organizational politics within the team. The member should display or show or demonstrate loyalty towards the other members of the team. Furthermore, value interdependence over independence. Rather than working as an independent person or an independent member, value the interdependence, that is, being dependent to other members. So, how can one become more selfless? To become more selfless, promote someone other than yourself. So, as individuals who are often very self-centered or selfish, we always try to promote ourselves. But if we are selfless, we would try to promote or put forward someone other than ourselves within the team. So, this means not promoting someone or pushing someone or recommending someone for work, but also for appreciation and giving the due credit to that person. So, how can we promote someone? Find, search and find out positive things to say about other people in the team, especially to superiors or supervisors or bosses, family members and close friends. So developing your mindset to share positive things about other people encourages you to become selfless. Take a subordinate role. Take the role of the subordinate or the employee under another person. Then you will automatically develop selflessness. And also, if there is anything to be given to another team member, give it personally or give it secretly. It could be help, advice, anything. Give it secretly without becoming public, without the other team members knowing that you are giving something to another member. And when you are giving that, there is pleasure in giving something to someone who cannot return that back to you or repay back to you. So this is very important. That is why they say when you do charity work, always leave the camera behind. The next character quality that a good team player should build up is the ability to develop relations or relationships. That character quality is identified as being relational. So, a person to become a relational person, they should give respect. So always people like respect. People demand respect from others in the family, in the workplace, in the society, wherever. So if you want or demand or like to receive respect, the first thing you have to do is to give respect. To whom? To the others. Irrespective of whether he or she is your mother, father, spouse, child, servant, janitor, subordinate, driver, work colleague, employee, supervisor, teacher, whoever. You must expect to earn it and give it to others. So a person who must expect respect should earn it. You can't easily get it. You have to earn it by working hard and maintaining a good reputation among the other members of the society about yourself, and also at the same time by giving respect to the others. So give it to the others. Why? Because it's important to give respect to the others simply for the reason that they are human beings. Simply because they are human beings. If there is no reason for another person to give respect, still you can give respect to them because they are human beings. Shared experiences. A team becomes more cohesive when it bonds and shares experiences together over time. So, it is very important within a team to share experiences by working together. So, it's important to share experiences with other members by working together or just by speaking and telling your experience with others. A team becomes more cohesive when it bonds and shares experiences together over time. A team becomes more cohesive. So we all have studied about the importance of cohesiveness. A team becomes more cohesive or closely connected when it bonds or closely links and shares experiences together with other members over time. It takes time to build a solid team. So it's obvious and we all know that we cannot develop a strong team overnight. It takes a considerable amount of time to build or develop a solid team or a strong team. Trust. What is trust? Trust is the other people can rely upon you. Trust sustains and feeds relationships. Trust sustains or maintains and feeds or supports relationships. It is an essential quality or an essential requirement to all good relationships. As a person tries to be relational, one of the very important attributes that he or she needs to practice and develop is reciprocity. If you all have studied or heard about the social exchange theory, you may have heard about the norm of reciprocity. Even if you have not heard or not read, don't worry, I am going to explain you about the concept of reciprocity. However, it would be really good for you all to read about the norm of reciprocity and about the social exchange theory on the internet for your knowledge and information. Though it has no direct use or linkage with this subject of team management, knowledge on that area, that is social exchange theory, and the norm of reciprocity will be useful for y'all in your final year for the research methodology subject. So, what is reciprocity? Reciprocity simply says the give and take process, or else the process of exchange. Whenever somebody gives you a message, tells something, gives some advice, gives some gift, does some help, it is expected that you would do the same thing to that person in return. And this applies only to the good things. Give and take is the foundation of any team relationship. So, it is important to have a sound give and take. Always we should be ready to give things to others. It could be advice, time, energy, support, help, resources, information, whatever. And also, when we give others, we will be able to easily get things from the others. That is take. So, give and take is the foundation or the base of any team relationship. So, when there is give and take, any relationship within a team would grow. And if it does not happen that way, that is, if one person or one team member is always or all the time the giver or the person who is giving, or in that regard making the sacrifice, and the other person is always the receiver or is always in the receiving end and gaining things but not giving anything in return, the relationship between those two people or those two members within the team will eventually or finally disintegrate, or the relationship will reduce. Mutual enjoyment. That is enjoyment between two people mutually enjoying together the same thing. Just the joy or happiness of being together or working together as a team can turn or convert unpleasant or displeasing tasks within a team into positive experiences. And that is why working in teams is in one hand satisfactory and enjoyable. The next character quality of good team players is being enthusiastic. What do you mean by being enthusiastic? That is, being interested, energetic, and motivated. People who bring an enthusiastic attitude to teamwork often take responsibility. So, when you take a team, all the members within the team are not very enthusiastic or energetic. People or the members who bring an enthusiastic attitude to teamwork often create enthusiasm within the team environment. They often take the responsibility for their own enthusiasm. So they become enthusiastic by themselves. They do not get any other people, or they do not expect others to make them enthusiastic. Successful people know that attitude is a choice, which means we can decide which attitudes that we maintain. So, successful people know that attitude is a choice, and so they choose to be a more positive person. They choose to become a more enthusiastic person. That is, they look at other things with a positive attitude, act their way into feeling. So then they also work according to their feelings. The only way to begin is simply to begin. So the only way to start is simply to start with their own feeling. And also enthusiastic people believe in what they are doing. The enthusiastic people believe or have a faith in what they are doing. And they also like to spend their time with enthusiastic or energetic people rather than negative people. As a result, enthusiasm is contagious, which means enthusiasm spreads from one person to another. So when we are seated or talking or spending time with another enthusiastic person, it is very convenient for us to also develop enthusiasm. So next, we are going to look at how an individual team member or a person could improve his or her enthusiasm. How to improve your enthusiasm? What is the importance of improving your enthusiasm? Nothing great was ever achieved without enthusiasm. Nothing great or nothing high was ever achieved without enthusiasm. So that shows or indicates that if you want to achieve and get great results, you need enthusiasm. First thing, show a sense of urgency. Show or demonstrate a feeling of urgency. That means you need to finish the work soon. So, how can you do that? Give yourself deadlines. Give yourself targets. And be a bit more ambitious. And be a little more ambitious or focused towards goals. And be willing or ready or prepared to do more things. Go the extra mile with your teammates. Go the extra mile with your teammates whenever necessary. Strive or try hard or work hard for excellence. Nothing breeds enthusiasm like a job well done. Try hard for excellence, and nothing breeds or grows enthusiasm within you like a job well done. The next character quality that needs to be developed by an employee or a team member to be identified as a good team player and to develop good team relationships is being disciplined. The employee has to be a very disciplined person. That is, he has to behave according to the rules, regulations, instructions and guidelines. So, for one to become the kind of player the teams want, people must develop discipline in 3 areas. So to become the kind or type of member or player that teams want or teams expect, people must develop the discipline in 3 areas. The first one is thinking. An employee or a team member has to be disciplined or methodical in his thinking. He cannot allow all the funny and silly thoughts to come to his or her mind. Keep your mind active and always think about the right things. Keep your mindset or brain active and always think about the right things, which means he should not think negative and he should not think bad thoughts about the team, the organization and the member himself as well as the other members. Second thing, the team player must have developed discipline in his emotions. That is, he should be disciplined in his or her emotions, which means he has to properly control his or her emotions and should not be guided by the emotions. Either you master your emotions or be mastered by them. Either a member should master their own emotions or control their emotions or be controlled or mastered by the emotions. So which is good? Always a disciplined member should master his or her emotions without allowing the emotions to master or guide himself or herself. So we are still in the process of discussing about becoming disciplined. Discipline is doing what you know needs to be done even if you don't want to do it. So discipline is doing what you know it needs to be done even if you don't want or like to do it. Which means still even though we don't like, we do it because of discipline. So we are still in the process of discussing the 3 areas that people must develop discipline. So first thing is thinking. Second thing is emotions. And the third is actions. Disciplined actions. So one has to develop practically disciplined actions. Action separates the winners from the losers. Actions or what we do separates the winners from the people who lose. When people act on what they must do, it is for the benefit of all those on the team. So the winners know that when they act on what they must do or what needs to be done, it is done for the benefit of all those on the team and not for one's individual benefit. So, with the discussion about discipline, we have concluded our discussion about the character qualities that are essential to be developed by a good team player to develop strong relationships. So in summary or in a nutshell, we have discussed about 8 character qualities: adaptability, collaboration, being communicative, dependable, selfless, relational, enthusiastic, and disciplined. So here I have stated 3 review questions that you can refer to and discuss with others when you are preparing for the exam. So as usual, as we conclude this lesson, you all are kindly requested to email me any questions that you have. So thank you very much for downloading and listening to this lecture. Thank you.